Well, I've been practicing Wicca for about 20 years. It started with my father, who started teaching me the ways, and then he went into modern religion, and I stayed on my path. So he still believes a lot in the same, and he doesn't try to preach too much to me, so that's a good thing. I just like to, when I teach my courses and such and live my life, I like to not only how can I put that? Not only give them, like, throw them a bone and say, this is what you do. I like to give them the meat on the bone too. So it's not just about a way of life. It's about your spirituality. Wicca is an individual path. So a lot of the Wiccas, we don't all practice the same way because it's a personal path. So a lot of Wiccas practice alone. Some practice in a coven. So the basis of it is it's all nature based. So we worship nature, all in nature, the trees, the grass, the plants, the animals, everything in nature. It's based on the four directions and the elements that go with it: fire, wind, water, air, that go with it. So when we worship, we mostly worship outside. So around a fire or even just out in the woods. Like, we not only do we believe in nature, but we also have gods and goddesses. Like, we have more than one. And with each Wicca, that will be a different one. Different gods and goddesses, depending on where you are on the planet, or what manifestation or spell or ritual you're doing at that time. I myself, my goddess is, I have two, is Green Tara and Kali. So I'm drawn a lot to the Hindu goddesses. We do our rituals, like we have 8 main rituals throughout the year that we do. It's all about harvest and fertilization and bringing about abundance. Sabbaths are the moon. So like full moon, new moon. Full moon is when we believe that we release everything that no longer serves us as humans, serves our soul, our spirit. So what we will do is, for instance, we'll write down what we want to release and then throw it into the fire and allow it to go. And that's our form of release. For new moon, it's all about what we want to manifest in our life. So if we want to manifest, say, okay, I want to do a money spell. It's a new moon, so I'm going to do a money spell. I'm going to do it on the full moon because that's when it's going to be strong. And the other is we have 8 rituals throughout the year. They have to go every 6 weeks, I think it is. And what that so we're honoring different seasons, the different times of harvest and stuff like that. Halloween, the veil is thinnest between us and spirit world. So we believe that we can connect with spirit more on that day, as well as it's the last harvest of the year. So we celebrate that. So that's the end because it's the last harvest, and now we're beginning into the new. So that's why we're doing
it's like it's a gateway, right? It's an opening of both the spirit world and the mortal world. Is that correct?
Yes, because we have to bring our ancestors into everything, right? not every Wicca is a witch, and not every witch practices Wicca.
Mm-hmm.
They're two different things. And then you have like paganism, and then you have druids, and like there's so many different sects of it. Like
Mm-hmm.
even Native Americans are considered pagan, right? So even with that, but they have a lot of the beliefs, same beliefs, right? It's all nature based and everything else. I guess what really it's just your gods and goddesses is really what comes into the differences between that. And we have a symbol. It's a pentacle, the five-pointed star with the circle around it, which represents the four elements and spirit. Okay, so a lot of people see that as devil worship. They don't understand. When we have a loved one who's passing on or going like through the palliative care, where we know like it's any time now, this is happening. If, and I can't speak for all of us because some witches practice alone, so they don't have the coven, they don't have the sisterhood and the brotherhood. But I'm lucky enough to be in a coven. So what we will do is we will give energy healing, such as Reiki or spiritual vortex therapy. Like I have so many different modalities, but stuff like that. We will make the room a sacred space and hold space for that person to be able to go through and release what they might not be speaking, but what they're feeling, and allow them to feel safe in that space, so they can go through what they need to release, so they feel cleansed to pass on to where they're going to go. We do some drumming. We do some singing, lighting candles. We try to bringing all the elements of all the elements, like fire, wind, like we try to represent all of that around them. The last woman I was with, we actually had crystals under her pillow and asked the nursing staff, she wants to wear a crystal. Can we put one on? No, they wouldn't allow a necklace because of what was going on around there. So we actually taped crystals to her that were out of her way, and that was fine. My partner, who actually grew up in Roman Catholic, he's very spiritual as well and believes some of the Wicca. He actually comes in to wash and anoint the feet. So it releases them of all their sins and all of their guilt.
Oh, okay.
What Wiccans believe when they pass on, it's not so much a heaven, but it's called Summerland. So the best way to describe a Summerland, if you know any Christian beliefs, is it's like an Eden. So it would be like perfect, like fields and nature and living within that, with the end. And then we believe also that we learn more up there because we will be reincarnated to come back and teach more of what we've learned up there. That's what we I can only speak for myself. I believe that we are all spiritual beings and we're here to learn. We are here to teach. We are here to pass on wisdom. We're here to go through like some of the worst things ever. So I believe this is hell. I don't believe in the devil, and Wiccas don't believe in the devil. So they don't believe in a hell. I think it's a necessity, and I think and I think it's great that you guys are going into different beliefs and religions and spirituality about it, because I find with a couple of the people I've been with during the process that was kind of left out of it, and it was just kind of,
it's a process.
You know what I mean? Like, to just this is what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Where been at a couple other ones where, unfortunately, a member of our coven was passing on and was going through palliative care, and they were great. They let us come in and they let us sing to her and play our drums really quiet. They were really accommodating to us. So I think it's great that it's finally coming in, like, more of the spirituality.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the way the person wants to be buried or cremated, that's their choice, and we never encroach on that. Most Wiccans don't want to be embalmed. They want to be cremated right away, or they want to be put in a biodegradable box in the ground so they go right to mother. Mm-hmm. So we always honor what their personal decisions are. Us as a coven will get together and usually around a fire, because we do everything around fire. So we'll come together, and it's almost like a wake, where we talk about that person and honor that person's memory. We also have chants that we do to send them off to Summerland, and we actually get bark from a tree, depending on where you are in the world. We have lots of birch bark up here, and we'll actually make a spirit plate, so like with food. So we're offering that food, and then we will place it in the fire to bring that with them to spirit world, to Summerland.
Wonderful.
Again, that is a personal choice. Mm-hmm. I believe I have my card signed, so if something happens, my organs go to those who need it. So, it's important. Some Wiccans believe that don't believe in that. They don't believe that any blood transfusion, because you're taking on somebody else's spirit, mm-hmm. and stuff like that. Me, if I needed to save my life, save my life. From the time I wake up in the morning, my first thing before I even get out of bed, before I even open my eyes wide, I give thanks. I give thanks to God and Goddess. I give thanks to Mother Earth. And then throughout the day, because I live so much in nature and I'm so connected with nature, I'm so lucky and blessed to be where I am. I go hug a tree. I go
just like our prayers at night.
Yeah. Meditation, I find, is very important. I meditate 3 times a day. And in that meditation, it's also prayer, and thanking the universe, source, creator, gods, goddesses, whatever you want to believe, and thanking them. And then, if there's something, say somebody I know is really sick, well, I'm going to do a spell for that person to help them, send that intention that I want them to get better, and so it depends on what is going on during that day. But the real rituals and manifestations happen depending on the moon, like full moon, new moon, mm-hmm. depending on the time of the year, like summer equinox and autumn equinox and stuff like that, like Yule. You guys call it Christmas. We call it Yule. Ours starts on the 22nd. Yours starts on the 25th. So, it all depends on there's so many things it depends on. It depends on the moon. It depends on the planets. It depends on what's going on in your life, and even the time of day that you do your spell or manifestation. That even depicts on how strong that's going to be for you.
Oh, okay. So
whatsoever. Actually, we have like what's called the Wiccan Reed.
mm-hmm.
So it's like a pledge we live by, and in it says, "Do what you will, but harm none." So whatever you do it without harm and do it with love, and it doesn't matter what you do as long as your intentions are the purest.